Now, like I said before, two or three of those, like sweet, like cut up and sweeten, and you can put that in juice, and that would help you. At two in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, that would help your hay fever. It would help your colds. It would help your flu, right? Now, I know I'm right because for 35 years, it's been 35 years since I had a cold, and since taking the right products, I've never had a cold. I've never had flu again. I've been no hay fever. It's been quite amazing. 35 years. Currently, the season in most of Europe is hay fever. People are suffering from hay fever, colds and flu. That's the time of the year that people are prevalent. They get this colds, flu, hay fever. So we are currently in Valencia, Spain, and Valencia is famous for its oranges. And in every road you go, there's orange trees planted, and there's about probably 30 or 40 oranges per tree, right? We picked two of them. Look at the size of it. We picked two of them, and they're not so sweet as normal oranges, but they're quite bitter. They're quite bittersweet, like that. So, but they're still full of vitamin C, right? So, a couple of those a day, and that would help with colds, would help with flu, would help with hay fever. Now, hay fever is very common at the start of spring. Spring, it starts getting worse, and in the summer it gets even worse because there's more pollen from trees, right? And that's the pollen what causes hay fever, for the nose to run, and the eyes to be sore, and you can't. There's tears that come from because of the hay fever. Now, like I said before, two or three of those, like sweet, like cut up and sweeten, and you can put that in juice, and that would help you at two in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. That would help your hay fever. It would help your colds. It would help your flu, right? Now, I know I'm right because for 35 years, it's been 35 years since I had a cold, and since taking the right products, I've never had a cold. I've never had flu again. I've been no hay fever. It's been quite amazing. 35 years. And that's quite an interesting way to look at it. Now, what of course got to be done is that it's not just like oranges that are important. You also need to eat like cucumbers with the skin on, mandarins, apples, pears, plums, right, and grapes, of course. All those fruits like that. Grapes, apples, plums, pears, like I said, they're excellent for building the immune system, building the strength of the nose and the sinus, and also the strength of the throat, so that you don't get sore throat, you don't get flu, you don't get hay fever, and so on. Now, so what's important is that it doesn't matter what your age is, it's very important that you don't eat white rice, don't eat white bread, don't eat anything that's white, basically, white bread, white rice, white pastries. What they do, they create a lot of starch in the body, and the body then wants to kick the starch out in the form of hay fever, colds, or flu, right? So if you eat properly, you'll never, no matter how people around you got flu or hay fever, you won't get it because you are taking the right precautions, right? So, like I said, very important that you don't eat like starchy foods, like pastries with a white flour, white rice, anything white is usually pretty bad, right? Ice cream, too much ice cream, right? One ice cream a month is fine, but if you eat ice cream every day, you will get some form of hay fever, you will get cold, you will get flu, right? So it's very important that you eat properly. Now, the other thing that I've found over the last 35 years I've been studying it, what I recommend for people who have immune system is on the border, you need to eat 3 stalks of organic celery. I'll repeat that, 3 stalks of organic celery every day, 1 or 2 beetroots, right? and 1 or 2 apples, okay, and also 1 bag of watercress. So watercress, apples, oranges, mandarins, organic celery, these are all great additions to the body, and all of them combined, these 4 or 5 things I mentioned combined, plus your vitamins that that we can recommend, what they do, they create a very strong immune system barrier so that any flu, any hay fever, any microbes you don't get. So look forward to hear from you, and we can give you some advice. But if you're suffering from hay fever, colds, flu on a regular basis, give us a call. Let's discuss it, and within half an hour we can give you some indication what you can use, and then you can visit us, get Iridology done, and then we can pin down where your weakness is in your body. Thank you for listening.